I don't know if this makes me weird or pathetic or if this is just a normal human thing. It's probably normal. Usually, the reason we think we're unique is because people don't really talk to each other about certain things, and so we think that we're alone in them. But it's almost annoying how recurrent certain thoughts are. Every day there are some thoughts that I have every single day, and it's really two thoughts that at this time in my life that just every day I can't escape them, and I always have to check on both of these things. And one of them it has been for the last 3 or 4 years. Every single day for the last 3 or 4 years, I've had to check and see if Clint Eastwood is dead. I don't know why. Probably just because I know that one day, probably soon, that's going to be a headline because he's really old. It could be 10 years from now, or it could be tomorrow, and it'd be really weird if it was tomorrow since I'm doing this video right now. But I really admire him as a director. I think he's amazing. I think he's an amazing artist. I'm gonna really miss him. So every day, it's almost like he's almost like he's my grandfather or something. My beloved grandfather, who I know doesn't have a lot of time left, and I'm constantly dreading that phone call. Grandpa Joe's dead. And I'm always thinking every day. I check the news and I'm like, maybe it's Clint Eastwood. Am I going to see his name there? Legendary actor and director Clint Eastwood dies at age whatever. The other thought that I have every single day, not of the last. This one's really just started in the last maybe 5 or 6 months. Is just any. What's the status of the new Manson album? What's the status of the new Manson album? Because I'm a big Marilyn Manson fan. So I'm constantly checking to see if there's any news every day, sometimes more than once a day with that one. Just, 3 or 4 times a day almost. Got to check on the Manson album. Got to stop whatever I'm doing and check and see if there's any news about the Manson album. It's pathetic how obsessed. Because, in both of these situations, me paying attention really means it doesn't do anything. Clint Eastwood will live to whatever age he lives to, regardless of whether or not I'm keeping track of his pulse or whatever however you want to phrase it. Is he still out there breathing, thinking, speaking, whatever? And the Manson album, that's gonna. The details will emerge about that, whether I pay close attention or not. And I know this. I know rationally that my attention means nothing. And yet, I gotta check constantly, every day. Check on both of those things. Clint Eastwood's still alive? What's the status of the new Manson album? Do you guys have stuff like that? Doesn't it kind of drive you a little bit crazy to be so obsessed? It does me.